You may not be about April Fools, but you was not fooling us with this amazing headshot. I just need to let you see yourself. Do you see this? Wow.
To me, that's foolish hair, that's for sure.
It looks good to me. Don't he look good, y'all?
That's a headshot from about 1987. So I'm gonna go ahead and date myself. But it was a time where you'd go around on foot. They called it pounding the pavement. They don't even use that term anymore.
No, I've never heard that.
You go office to office with your headshot. So that's how I was trying to get my career started. I probably could have worn a shirt under that.
No, you clearly did
It worked out fine, so maybe.
It worked out fine.
Maybe that was what did it.
I mean, if you've been in over 100 movies and TV shows, it worked out.
It worked out.
Right?
I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay, so out of all of that acting, like what roles do you get surprised that you get recognized for the most?
Well, there's the regulars, you know, but some of them come out of the blue. The regulars being My Best Friend's Wedding, Scream recently, Anyone But You was a big hit last year in the rom-com realm. So I was thrilled to be in those. So people come up to me, stuff all the time, but some come out of the deep past.
Like what?
Angels in the Outfield.
Oh my goodness.
I just have a tiny part in, but it's such a meaningful movie to people. And even Friends, you know, it's a huge show. I have a tiny,
Do you hear this?
tiny part on it. But that guy, that character just came to life and then took on a different, even more of a life when people started to watch it over and over again. You know, we didn't used to have comfort shows.
Good point.
But now we do. It's like something we invented to explain what happens when you go back and start at the beginning and watch all of the Friends episodes again.
Wow.
But I think the 3 best ones are the ones that I'm in.
You better know it.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a consensus.
I gotta ask you this. So out of all the roles that you played, do you sometimes forget and be like, oh my God, I'm in this?
No, I don't forget. That one was weird though because people are shouting, hey, Gavin, at me, like at a gas station, and it had been so long. Meaning when Friends reemerged on streamers, I was suddenly super recognizable for something I did 20 years ago, 20 years previous to that. So anyway, Gavin Mitchell, nice to meet you, is what I say to the little baby that Rachel had. It's still funny.
Now let's talk about one of my favorite shows, Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
Baby.
No, it's incredible.
Woo.
I know.
You know, I'm from Chicago. So,
I know.
What is it like joining season 13?
It's an incredible honor, for one thing, what they've built over 12 years. I'm a brand new character. You see some there. And they've honored me with an incredible storyline, great character. It's really cooking right now, if you guys are up to date. And we're nearing the end of our season, and stay tuned. It really gets hairy. And I'm just so blessed. These guys have built this whole world. There's also Chicago PD and Chicago Med, of course.
Yes.
Great shows, great actors.
Yes.
I've become friends with all of them, so we're really proud of the work we put in. For me to say I'm joining these actors, these athletes, these these firefighters on the show.
Yes.
It's been an incredible experience. It's the longest that I've ever portrayed a character yet to date. Before that, I'd never even been on a full season of television. So it's long-form television on the fly. I don't know what's happening next. It's super exciting. And I'm in Chicago.
And you're in Chicago.
Back in Chicago. Sweet home.
Yes.
Chicago.
I gotta ask, like, what I gotta do to get a role on Chicago Fire? Can I at least visit the set?
You didn't even have to finish that first question. It's done. You're on the show.
You think so?
Yeah, it's done. It's decided.
Wow, and it's not your first rodeo in Chicago, iconic scene in Union Station and in My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yes, of course.
What do you remember from shooting all of that?
Well, we were all over the city, and now I'm more or less living there to work on Chicago Fire, so I see all these locations. Union Station, you mentioned, that was a massive scene, hundreds of extras over the years on other sets. Of course, I did Shameless in Chicago, too, for a couple of seasons. But people will come up and say, I worked on that crew with you, or even so in that Union Station set, some of the background actors. I'd find them on the next set, and they'd say, hey, I was in... So like that guy in the pants there, he'd come up to me 25 years later and say, hey, I was the guy in the pants.
Yeah.
Crossing in the background at Union Station. So that's literally happened to me. So it's touched so many lives, the people who were
Yes.
involved with it, of course, but then it lived on. And even unlike something I was describing with friends, this one just always stayed on track and grew and became a classic before our very eyes. So,
Yes.
it's amazing.
That's the impact you've made.
Yeah, incredible.
It's
All the
amazing.
creators that went into that. Music, of course, was such a part of that movie, and Rupert and Cameron and Julia, you know, just a great cast. The others too, you know.
Yes.
Carrie and Rachel and everyone. Yeah.
You're awesome.
No.
Now, is it true you opened up a Smashing Pumpkins?
Oh, then that happened too, yeah. That was just a stroke of luck in Chicago at the Aragon Ballroom, which is a classic room, this huge 100-year-old ballroom. The Smashing Pumpkins were playing. My brother plays in the band, my other brother, in Chicago. And so I just strummed guitar with them, and then anyhow, I got a call at 3:30 in the afternoon, said sound checks at 6. We're opening for the Pumpkins.
What?
Yeah. So he just has kind of like a raucous Irish rock band.
Yeah.
And the place went nuts for us.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
2 acts later, Billy Corgan and Chamberlain and all them came on. And yeah, some of my favorite rock from the 90s. And share a stage and to see it up close like that was really strange, unplanned pinnacle moment. And I'm so lucky.
That's an honor right there. That's
Yeah.
amazing.